I landed the job of my dreams, but as time passed, I felt like a spectator in a club where I wasn't a member. Conversations around me were about golf games I wasn't invited to, networks I didn't belong to, and social events that didn't include me. Even in meetings, my ideas were ignored until they were endorsed by a male counterpart. I felt isolated and alienated. This entire experience took an emotional toll on me. My productivity dipped, and so did my enthusiasm for this job. My focus shifted from how to excel in my role to how to blend into a culture that made me feel like an outsider. Feeling you belong isn't a luxury. It's a fundamental human need. And when that need isn't met, everything else falls apart. If you want to create a workplace where your team feels heard and valued, then keep listening. I'll introduce you to a framework which will support you in becoming a more inclusive leader and support you in achieving your goals for excellence. Find the full transcript and other resources for women leaders at livingwhileleading.com/17. You're listening to Living While Leading with your host, Sharon Ehrlich, where I help women IT executives gain more control over their careers and carve out time to care for themselves and family. In today's hyper-competitive business environment, you know that your most valuable asset is not just the product or service you represent, but the people who make it all happen, your employees. Creating a workplace that truly harnesses the full potential of its talent pool goes beyond job titles and compensation. Delves into a deeper, more nuanced arena that impacts not just employee satisfaction, but also productivity, efficiency, innovation, and even organizational profitability. I'm referring to belonging. Belonging isn't just about making people feel included. It's about creating a culture where each individual feels understood, valued, and most importantly, empowered to achieve their best. If you search online, you'll find data that supports the importance of belonging in the workplace. For example, according to a study by the Harvard Business Review, organizations with a strong culture of belonging have a 56% increase in job performance. Research supports that inclusion and belonging aren't just the right thing to do, they are a necessity for organizations who seek to excel. Before you get started, it's a good idea to understand the 5 critical pillars central to the belonging concept. The first pillar is being valued. Employees should never feel like cogs in a machine. They should feel like their daily contributions actively shape the success of where they work. When people feel valued, they bring their whole selves to work and they decide how much effort and creativity they're going to contribute. The second pillar is psychological safety. Employees should feel that they can share their thoughts without the threat of ridicule or repercussions. Psychological safety enables risk-taking, and risk-taking leads to innovation. Without psychological safety, people silence themselves and deprive you of their brilliant ideas. The third pillar is respect for individuality. You must respect and celebrate the individuality each person brings, whether it's their distinctive identity, their working style, their unique skills, or their personal preferences. The fourth pillar is accessibility to opportunities. This goes beyond standard equal opportunity statements. We're talking about a dynamic environment where opportunities actively seek people based on merit, not on office politics or superficial metrics. And the fifth pillar is community. A workplace is more than a place to work. It's also a community. Employees should feel like they're part of a greater mission, connected by mutual respect and common goals. If the benefits of inclusion are so vast, the cost of exclusion are devastating and include decreased productivity. An excluded employee becomes a disengaged employee. Disengagement leads to missed deadlines, unenthusiastic contributions, and wasted potential. Increased turnover. Talent retention is important to all organizations. When people don't feel like they belong, they leave and they take their skills with them. The third negative impact is reduced innovation. If employees don't feel that their voice matters, they won't speak up. That means losing out on potential groundbreaking ideas that could take your business to the next level. A culture of exclusion can quickly escalate into a toxic work environment, affecting not just the excluded, but everyone around them. And believe it or not, customers feel the culture of an organization. Disengaged employees result in poor customer service and low customer satisfaction. I designed the MEETS framework to support you in your journey to becoming a more inclusive leader. Let's discuss what each letter of the MEETS acronym stands for. The first letter is M, to make it safe for people to propose ideas. A culture of psychological safety allows for open brainstorming and can lead to groundbreaking solutions. The first E is ensure all team members speak up and are heard. Inclusion fosters diversity not just in demographics, but also in perspectives, ultimately enriching the decision-making process. The second E stands for empower, which means you have to empower your teams to make decisions. When employees are empowered, they are more engaged and take ownership of their roles, boosting productivity and job satisfaction. The T stands for taking advice and implementing feedback. An inclusive leader listens. This shows that you value their opinions and are committed to collective growth. And the S stands for share credit for team success. Acknowledging the contributions of each team member not only boosts morale, but also fosters a culture of mutual respect and teamwork. Here are 2 concrete steps you can take now to start the transformative process of creating a culture of inclusivity within your teams. One simple step you can take to implement the MEETS framework is to introduce a regular safe space hour in team meetings. This dedicated time allows for open, non-judgmental discussions where every team member can propose ideas, give feedback, or share their perspectives. Make it clear that all ideas are welcome and that there are no stupid suggestions. This will encourage team members to speak up and contribute and recognize that their voices are valued. The second step you can take is to periodically conduct the Own Your Role exercise. Ask each team member to identify one decision they made and its impact. Any advice or feedback they received from colleagues about the decision, and to acknowledge someone who helped them achieve their goal. This exercise empowers team members to make decisions, highlights the importance of feedback, and acknowledges the collective efforts that lead to success. You have the power to revolutionize your workplace. Make the decision to actively create an inclusive environment where everyone wins. Remember, you're the solution to claiming what's important to you. Thanks for listening today. This is your time. Give yourself permission to reclaim what's important to you and be who you want to be. If you're getting value from this podcast, please subscribe, share it, or write a review. And connect with me on livingwhileleading.com or on LinkedIn. And don't forget to tune in next week.